That's not good.
Part 2. Azure Moon. Garland Moon. The Golden Deer's Plea. The Kingdom Army has reclaimed the Kingdom capital and plans to immediately begin restoring the country and its forces. But an unexpected request arrives from Claude, leader of the Leicester Alliance. Dimitri promptly responds to the request for aid, and he rushes to prepare the Kingdom's forces.
This is all sound. This is going great, isn't it? Hmm?
We have received a request for aid from the Alliance. They are being invaded by the Empire. We have only just taken back Ferdiad, and yet I am already asking all of you to move out once more. Please accept my apologies for that.
That's no problem at all. More importantly, how is the Alliance faring?
House Regan has rallied the Alliance lords. They are facing the enemy with all the strength they can muster. But we do not know how far that will get them. It seems the enemy's relentless attacks have forced them into a tough situation. Their defeat at Gronder severely weakened the Alliance. I imagine the Empire now intends to destroy them before they can recover.
To think they'd watch us chase their soldiers out of the Kingdom capital, then immediately go invade the Alliance. Their general is Lord Volkard von Arundel. He serves as regent to the Emperor. He has presumably taken command after the Emperor was wounded in Gronder.
He is known for his shrewdness and excels not only in domestic affairs, but tactics as well. He is not an opponent we should take lightly. Lord Arundel.
Are you concerned?
I always suspected that Lord Arundel was behind the tragedy 9 years ago. The timing of his departure from the kingdom, the fact that he abruptly stopped making donations, too many factors made him suspect. If Lord Arundel conspired with Cornelia, then what Kronya and the others said 5 years ago? Well, never mind that for now. The Alliance needs our help. What are your thoughts?
If we turn our back on the Alliance and then Deirdre falls, it will undoubtedly make our situation difficult further down the road. We would have enemies in two directions, in the Alliance to the northeast, and in the Empire to the south.
That is true. In that scenario, we would not be able to safely march our soldiers to Enbar.
I am terribly worried about Lady Rhea, but I believe we must save the Alliance first. Oh, maybe if we do this, the Alliance will help us out in return. We could ask them to help us attack the Empire. You know, a sneak attack or something.
Annie, when did you become so devious?
What would your mother think?
What? It wasn't that devious.
What do you think, Professor?
I support whatever Dimitri decides.
We must go to Deirdre. I will admit that there is something to be gained for us as well, for when we eventually march south. But far more importantly, they need us. We cannot turn our backs on them. We will arrange to head out at once. Prepare yourselves, everyone.
Sylvain's birthday. Here, have some flowers. Oh! Aha! There it is. I thought that's what
Your
would happen.
Highness, thank you for everything.
This is sudden. Why so formal? You are not about to tell me you intend to leave the army, are you?
Oh no, it's not that. I just had the chance to return to the capital on military business. It had really been a long time. Life's pretty hard there right now, but its old vitality seems to be returning bit by bit. If it wasn't for you, I'm sure things wouldn't be looking so promising. So,
Come now, no need to exaggerate. Do not forget that I abandoned them and fled once as well.
you had no choice. If you had remained in the capital, you would have been killed. If you keep thinking so dark and gloomy, you're gonna end up looking just like Father.
Annette, you probably do not realize, but over those 5 years, I took many lives. I slaughtered generals and officials alike with brutality you would scarcely think a human was capable of. And as I have intensified my fight with the Empire, how many people have fallen in the capital? My hands are already dripping with blood. I cannot be forgiven.
You really are a lot more like Father than I am. Before Father left us, he used to say similar things. I don't want you to end up like him. So, I've been thinking, when this war is over, I was wondering whether I could help you with your work. Of course, I don't know how much I'd be able to support a king.
What are you saying?
If I leave you to your own devices, you'll forget how to laugh. We can't have that. You won't be able to do what you have to do with such a miserable look on your face. So, if you'll have me, I'd like to stay by your side. If you're sad or suffering, I'll just starve you until you muster a smile.
Starve me?
Hey, you weren't supposed to laugh at that part. I thought a lot about this.
Sorry, I could not help myself. Certainly with you around, I will not have any cause to frown. By all means, join me, Annette. And never lose that sweet smile of yours.
Yes, I promise.
Maxed out with Mercedes as well. War. Huh. Okay. Anyways. Silver remain in retribution. Lies in what was once the border between the kingdom and the empire and is a valuable strategic asset if we intend to reclaim it. Ah, okay. We got lots of large fish. I don't really care. Okay. So essentially we'll just leave here the base of operations and explore. Well, first place first.
I have been wondering something. If I had not been your student, where would I be right now? Who would I be? Do you ever think about that sort of thing, Professor?
Like, what if I had led a different class?
Ah, so you do think about such questions. You can never find answers, though, right? We cannot turn back time. So there is
no,
way
you
to go back and
can't
try a
find
different path.
answers. Anyways. Do 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 do. Hold on, chat. I'm looking at something real quick. Do 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 do. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I had to take a look at something real quick. I've been looking at a lot of stuff here. Sorry.
What do you think? Guess this doesn't end with liberating the kingdom capital. Deirdre is next. That prince really works his people hard, doesn't he? Or should I be calling him a king now? Whatever the title is, he'll always be Dimitri to me. Okay.
Do 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 do.
Anyway, the very same night we liberated the capital, a messenger arrived from Deirdre. Claude must have predicted that we'd retake it.
Definitely.
Claude's a hard person to read. It's obvious not much escapes his eye, though. Kind of unsettling, honestly.
Let's see. So war finally comes to the Alliance territories. I don't mean that there's never been fighting on Alliance soil, of course. There have been countless skirmishes between neighboring lords, as well as conflicts with Almyra. But this is an invasion by an army of the Empire. It's a whole different animal. I don't want to see my family get dragged into this. I hope we can drive back the Empire.
Agreed. Oh. Oh no. They're down the middle.
Claude. Which one was he again? Oh, right. Yeah, of course I remember him. It's just, I can't picture his face. Don't remember what he looks like. I'm not sure if I ever knew.
That's a bit intriguing.
Maybe.
What do we get? Morphus seeds, chickpeas, and peach currant. I will plant.
Professor!
I will do some planting later.
been told you can see the sea from Deirdre. Not just see, that it is right there in front of you. In Bridget, the sea has great closeness. I would be looking at it every day. But in Garrick Mach, we cannot look at the sea. So I am feeling drawn to Deirdre.
The ocean is beautiful.
Yes, I think the sea has much beauty, but can also be frightening.
Hey!
All right, Mr. Gatekeeper, what do you got, buddy?
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Deirdre is known as the aquatic capital. It's a beautiful town with streets that seem to float on the water and an impressive harbor. In times of peace, it would be a wonderful place for a holiday. Anyway, best of luck in the next battle.
All right, once again, taking a look at something else. Okay. Been looking at a lot of stuff.
When the war's over and
Kinda
the
need
city
to.
is revitalized, I'd like to visit again. Will you come with me, Professor?
All right.
Really? Oh, I'm so glad. Although, I suppose we have bigger things on our plate, like Claude. He's in big trouble. I bet my family is too. We have to help them, Professor. I know we can't lose with you on our side. What? There's unrest. I hope things go. Hey, how about a favor?
Sure. Here you go.
Hello there, Professor.
Hello there, sir.
Oh, we're gonna go help Claude? I haven't seen him in forever. Wonder how he's been. I chose this side because I believe in you, Professor. But it's not like I got anything against Claude.
Were you close?
Of course! Claude was the kind of person who would be instantly friends with anyone. I got no clue what'll happen to the Alliance. But I sure hope Claude doesn't die.
Same. Absolutely the same. I don't want Claude to die.
It was over 20 years ago. There was an illness raging across Ferdiad, while people were dying left and right. It was Cornelia who saved the kingdom from that dreadful illness.
Can't imagine it.
Neither can I. By the time I was old enough to understand, that time had already passed. People praised Cornelia as a saint for ending the epidemic. But there came a day when she completely changed. Her behavior, mannerisms, likes, dislikes, everything. Despite all that, Father still appointed her to a high post. After all, she had saved the kingdom from ruin by that disease. But above all, my stepmother trusted her. That's why what that woman said is... Never mind.
Lord Rodrigue Fraldarius has passed on. Margrave Gautier has assumed his position and is now gathering the lords of the Eastern Territories. House Gautier is equal in prestige to House Fraldarius. Sylvain is a Gautier. These lords are reorganizing the Fargus army and eradicating any remaining factions that claim allegiance to the Empire. Of course, His Highness is being kept apprised with regular reports. But it
Nice.
falls to me to monitor him and ensure he does not try to take on too much. I would ask you to do the
Good
same.
on ya.
If you take your eyes off that man, even for a moment, he is liable to do something rash.
Good man to do.
Deirdre, the aquatic capital. I've heard it's a magnificent city, you know? If we're going, I wish it wasn't to wage war. It'd be more fun to visit with a cute girl on my arm.
Maybe once this war is over.
You're right. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's just like calm down, bro. Still a ways to go.
I was getting excited for our big Empire showdown. I spent so much time mentally preparing. Then we shifted focus to Deirdre. I hadn't been expecting that. But, as a knight who's sworn to serve the goddess, I cannot turn a blind ear to those who seek my aid.
We're still searching for Lady Rhea. No news on that, I'm afraid. Lord Arundel, the Emperor's uncle, is the regent of the Empire. If we crush them at Deirdre, maybe we'll capture him and wring some clues out of him.
You know... Well...
I don't want to do that just yet. Still got all down here to do.
Oh. The Alliance leader is too demanding and the prince is too soft-hearted, don't you think? They spilled much of each other's blood at Gronder. I lost a lot of friends to the Alliance. Sorry, I shouldn't complain. I know this is tactically sound. Everyone seems on board with it, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have any misgivings.
If you travel east from the Alliance and cross Fodlan's Throat, you enter the land of Almyra. House Goneril's territory touches the eastern border of the Alliance. They also have Lord Holst, the most valiant warrior in the Alliance. Tasked with keeping watch over the Almyrans' movements, he rarely leaves Goneril territory.
Professor, it'll take a little while yet for the capital to be restored to its former glory. But it's not dead yet. Doesn't matter how many times you put the people of Ferdiad down. They'll get right back up again. Just you watch. Before long, things will be back to how they were.
Nice. One second, chat. Once again, looking at something else. Do. I do apologize. Like I've been trying to find a lot of stuff in here. I've been trying to look up a lot of stuff, so I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry about that, chat. Ah, who we got here?
Deirdre, huh? I've always wanted to go there. In Fargus, most of the towns are pretty much glorified fortresses. So, to hear about a place called the Aquatic Capital, it just sounds so elegant. When the war's over, I hope I can visit with everyone there. Deirdre, in Fargus, so when the war...
I went to visit my adoptive father at his home in the capital. He used to grovel at Cornelia's feet when the city was under her control. But after it was liberated, he started courting the kingdom instead.
It's a bit despicable.
Absolutely. He's hopeless. I suppose when you're a merchant, that's all you know. No matter what becomes of the world, it'll always be plagued by people like him.
Yep, there always will be.
A hungry hero is no better than a well-fed soldier. Do you know that saying? No? That's because I just made it up. If you're hungry, you're never going to be at full strength. Keep your belly full and stay strong.
Claude, eh? He always was sharp among his peers. Never let himself get caught up in conventions. He wasn't typical in Fodlan. I'd like to save him if we can.
He's too determined to die.
You may be right.
Now we can... Hold on. Nope. No, we cannot just... But I still got to go to the classes areas. Black Sand Steel. We don't really even need that. How many weeks do we have in this? We have... Okay, so essentially 3 weeks. 3 weeks to prepare.
I'm glad Dimitri and Claude don't have to fight one another. I am the daughter of an Alliance Lord, though. So I suppose that goes without saying. Having to fight with your former classmates is just so terribly sad.
Agreed.
Didn't they used to call Claude the Master Tactician? I want a nickname too. Maybe I'll get one if I can rescue him at Deirdre. I'll come up with a plan that's even better than his and earn a nickname for sure.
Oh, Caspar.
So, listen. I heard that Deirdre is under attack. I hope Judith is all right. She may be the hero of Daphne, but facing the might of the Empire? I wish there was something more I could do. But I can only pray and hope.
Pardon me.
Incredible. Dimitri is going to Claude's aid. How great is that? It's like we've gone back to how things were 5 years ago. It's so nice. Just imagine if 80 was there too. I suppose you can't ever really go back to the way things were in the past.
Nope. Not in particular. Not in particular.
Traveling to the Empire, to the Kingdom, and then off to Alliance territory? Everyone certainly is busy. perhaps it's not a bad thing now that I think about it.
All in the pursuit of peace.
Peace will be lovely. Peace will, one assumes, be considerably less perilous.
Even if we do enter Alliance territory, we're not gonna find Lady Rhea there. I wish we could leave Claude be and go attack the Empire. I suppose if we can't beat the Empire forces here, then we can't get into the Empire lands, can we? I guess that just means it's hard work time, huh, Professor?
Yep.